Purposeful gazing is one of the fundamental nonverbal behaviors that I want you to learn about and master. Purposeful gazing or powerful gazing is visual and eye contact. We are all aware of the importance of making eye contact with individuals. Now, as we are going through this training and this material, we are speaking more on the universal laws of best body language techniques. However, we need to be mindful of certain cultural or differences in cultures when it comes to gazing. I want us to talk about the importance of making eye contact. Eye contact is one of the most powerful ways for us to communicate nonverbally, and everyone enjoys connecting. There is a hormone that gets released every time we make eye contact with someone. It helps us build rapport and it makes us connect more with those individuals. So oxytocin is what is considered the happy or the cuddle hormone. And every time a person makes eye contact with someone else, we get a raise of the oxytocin levels rise up in our body. Not all eye contact is created equal. And when we first meet someone or you're speaking with someone, we're always looking at their face. What we don't consciously realize is that our eyes are making specific patterns on their face to tell them how we feel about them. Their eyes are doing the same to us as well. There are primarily 3 types of eye contact. One is the power gaze, the second one is the social gaze, and then there's the personal gaze. And we're going to cover the 3 ways depending on the type of relationship that you want to build with the individuals that you're interacting with, which type of gazing should you be engaging in. The first is called the power gazing. Alphas, leaders, and people with high level of confidence and competence look at the top half of the face. Their eyes bounce between the other's eyes and their foreheads. Their gaze stays high on their face and usually never drops below the eye level. In social situations, that triangle becomes flipped. When people are friendly, want to get along, or collaborate, they tend to make a pattern between the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. This is called social gazing. In social settings, the gaze is usually centered in the middle part of the face. The third type of gaze is intimate gazing. If we would like an intimate relationship with someone, our gaze tends to drop even lower to the suprasternal notch or jugular notch. This is the notch between the collarbones. And so we have 3 different types of gazing. Now, in our dental practices, one of the ways in which we're going to convey trust to our patients to be able to increase our levels of acceptance and make them feel more at ease, we want to use the power gazing. Make sure that you're keeping that eye contact to the triangle right above between the eyes and the forehead. And in social settings with your coworkers, you may want to build more trust and mutual collaboration. So you may want to use the social gazing more. And so these are the 2 that I would recommend. And you want to be mindful of the type of message you want to send to them and the relationship that you want to send to them as well. Now, in body language, in nonverbal communication, as with everything else, there's always a spectrum. And there is a spectrum in which there is total avoidance and you're not making the right eye contact depending on the conversation or the interaction and the message that you're trying to say. So we call that low in the spectrum. The higher end of the spectrum is when you're making someone feel uncomfortable. And so I want you to be mindful of the spectrum and make sure you stay within between. It has to go and follow the context, and it needs to mirror and sort of dance together with the other person. So just give as much eye contact as you are receiving to maintain the conversation and the trust in alignment. One thing to keep in mind is that as much as we have the spectrum and we don't want to have an avoidant gaze or have a situation in which we're making too much eye contact, making our patients or our coworkers and people feel uncomfortable, we need to become aware of the cultural background and the context of how people from different backgrounds perceive eye contact and how much of it is normal if you're feeling that they're avoiding you and how much of it could be staring or high on the spectrum based on their cultural background. This is something that we're going to dive deeper in a later video, but I just want you to be mindful of it as you're going through the process.